Hi everyone, good afternoon and good morning, where different people are. I think it's afternoon for me and morning for my co-host, who I'll ask to say hello now.
Hello, hello. Yes, it is in fact morning for me here. It's the joy of time zones and getting together with people on the internet.
Absolutely. So, although we find out that Scott M, who's broadcasting this side, isn't even that far from where Dynasty is in real life, that's a discovery we've just made now. So, even when it's farthest flung geography, sometimes it's closer to home than you realise.
Absolutely. And now, once again, as we've discovered that, I'm no longer going to be a partial bystander and will be throwing my full support behind Scott for the home team.
Well, I'll try and be steadfastly neutral, but we've got Trannel on the other side, and they're both rocking good decks. We've got Gruul versus Rakdos to begin, I believe. So I will let Scott know we're ready to send an invitation, and we will get the game underway. Let me just hop out of here and pop over there.
Absolutely. We
Okay.
have. Go ahead.
Yep,
Yeah.
we're good.
Excellent. And we have Scott M piloting Gruul and Trannel being the bad person here and piloting Rakdos.
Yes, the Rakdos are definitely the villains of the bunch this set, aren't they? And of course, the winner of this gets to play another Rakdos set, which I guess goes to show the power of the color pair, doesn't it?
It certainly does, given that it can be, it's so deep and common, and you can have the treasure focused set version, or you can have the steel and sack focused. It really is a difficult archetype to beat.
And it's interesting, isn't it? Because in this draft pod, the Rakdos players didn't get the prices, so I think they both seem to be not quite running the optimal build, and yet we've got 2 out of 3 people in the semi-finals running the red black.
Just goes to show how deep it is in common, isn't it?
Yeah, it's crazy, absolutely crazy. So, well, we'll see whether or not Scott can yeah break that curse and see whether another deck although it's still running red, which I guess is the consensus red is the strongest color.
I believe so. When we get, for me personally, when we get to these, like, this is the best color, this is the second best color, it always depends on what's even open at the table, or which commons are even open, that sort of thing.
Absolutely.
For example, with Scott M running Ranger class, green's obviously going to be his best color.
Darn tootin'. Yep, and if he sticks that early, that might be the thing that makes this. He has actually lost to Trannel in the bracket already, so
Hmm.
he'll know the deck and have a feel for it. And that's not the most ideal opening hand.
That's a very slow opener for sure. And
Yes,
we're going to send it back.
I
Much
would have
better
done
hand
the
here.
same, but this is nice. What do you think, George on the bottom?
Unfortunately,
No
yes.
way. That's fine. Yeah, no, I am a tough start. But let's see. On the play, got a few options here. We'll see how Trennel
Get
holds out.
Let's see, no red for Trannel quite yet. Could still be in the hand. We're going to
Indeed.
develop the board a little bit. I like
Yeah.
this idea. The Sepulchre Ghoul not necessarily worth wasting the bull strength on, but still no red across the table. Interesting.
Yeah, there's an opportunity. And what do you think about main decking that treasure vault?
Given, let me take a look at Trannel's deck here again. I haven't seen it played, and I haven't played it myself. It's hard for me to make a judgment based on that. But
Yeah,
let's
see,
see if
Trannel's
Trannel
not
can make it happen.
splashing a third color, so it is interesting. It seems to be just for the potential treasure payoff later, but no price of loyalties, no. I think maybe is there hex blades in Trannel's deck? I lose track.
There is not.
Hmm.
Looks like the treasure payoffs are Jaded Sellsword and ramping into Beholders and Dragons.
Yeah. Okay. So it goes with the doubling power rather than the bull strength here, and Trannel looks like they're just trying to weather the storm. Ah, Manticore.
Ah,
Sneaky piece of removal there, of course. Very nice. Uh, Still, with a
yep.
Ranger in hand, here comes the big boys. Straight down with the
Definitely,
Ranger.
definitely worth it to get the Ranger down. Although that one toughness showing off uh, that its weakness here against the Manticore. Is it even worth blocking?
That's right. It is. It feels like trading down, doesn't it, when Manticore's done most of its work.
Right.
Trannel's stuck that red bit of land now.
Yep. Certainly has. And a main phase
Going straight for the
drain for
gains.
2.
Yeah. Okay. Gorgeous George lands again.
Do we attack first? And no, we're
Doesn't
going straight for Gorgeous George.
doesn't fancy it.
Interesting.
Yeah. While they were tapped out, I would have thought about sending the Ranger because I guess either trade. Like you're not happy about Manticore, but taking either
And
piece off is alright.
you could always bull strength to save the Ranger and get in a ton of damage.
Indeed. So goes for the Menace here. Can attack with the Manticore, of course. Yep. Oh,
What a draw.
that's a lovely wee top deck. Trannel is running one Grim Bounty, aren't they? Is that right?
I saw the one Grim Bounty. What other removal
I think
do
everything
we
else
have
is
here?
too weak for Inferno. Thinking about sending George as well? Nope, just the dragon. That's going to be tricky. If they don't have bounty, that's going to be very tough.
Bounty or double Dragon's Fire, which is uncastable without sacking that treasure vault.
Yeah. Okay. Oh dear.
That plus now the guaranteed that Scott's looked at Trannel's deck and will keep that bull strength up for just that, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And yes, has had it once before. What about now? Send George as well, or just the dragon?
I don't see any oh,
Oh,
yeah,
hello.
I would send just the dragon personally, but this is the pressure right here, giving them the
Guns out.
business.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do we bull
So,
strength to save or
I think,
to trade with Harold? Let's see.
yeah, trade with Herald or save George. Choices,
Oh,
choices. He's going for
save
George.
George makes a lot more sense.
No trample here, so
Yeah, interesting that we're pumping.
yeah.
But hey, sometimes you need to flex, and I can appreciate
Yeah, having been wounded once before.
that.
So has got Dragon's Fire in hand. It looks like thinking about finishing off George. Oh. Ah, had a dragon.
Showing
Of
off the
course,
cell
had the
sword.
yeah. The Dragonborn Sellsword is enough to finish Inferno. Might be a little late in the day though.
I believe you're right. Although we can, looks like we're going to create some treasures here to get that cell sword on the table.
Yep.
There's our second red.
So Red Dragon can dispose of a bit of the life total, but it's still going to be a tough ask here. Sellsword can drop as well. Now they've got the two treasures, but they instead get the Beholder back. So I think they're going to hold out another turn.
Gain a
That
life.
that one life might be the difference. So can send everything, and they'll trade Herald for one of the 4 powers. Yep.
And
So Dragon's off, down to 1. So they're top decking, right? They've got 2 creatures in hand. We know exactly what they have.
yeah, I don't know if there's a way for Trannel to get out of this predicament.
Nope. It
And I
was
think
allowed.
Trannel
So
agrees.
that's 1. So to sideboard. Now Trannel did joke that there is an Orzhov build, but I don't think it's
This was the
going to be any
tournament
more
I was
optimal.
in.
So we shall see. Does Scott have any sideboard plan?
It looks like we're bringing in a Cursed Idol.
So what artifacts are there to remove?
It's Mozart.
Not sure.
Oops.
Outside of the land, I'm not sure we saw anything. There is a Reaper's Talisman that's main deck and Trannel's deck that could be part of it.
Okay, and I guess it gives some venture stuff. So let's see. Let's see how it goes.
Hmm?
Okay.
And
Won the
even
first
worse
game.
opener.
It was domination. No, get out of this.
Okay. Ranger class. Hello.
There's a turn 2 play with Ranger class. That's gonna
That
feel really good.
Yeah, he's going to be very happy about that. Okay. Oh, and an Ember Poke in the hand as well. This isn't a bad opening hand for Scott.
Not at all. Taking the 2 easy choice. Fangblade. Lots of choices now here for Scott to make.
Yeah. Ooh, thinking about Dragonfying the Fangblade and punching through. Maybe with Ember Poke as well. Sepulchral Ghoul, of course, can not do a lot. Thought about it. Didn't gain. Dropping Ember Poke here as well. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yep.
Might
Mana
as well.
efficiency. Strong start on the draw here. Trannel's going to have a bit of work, but has found both colours of mana, which is good.
Absolutely. A Dragon's Fire here puts the
Cat amongst the pigeons. The Ghast is tricky too, of course, because obviously that will
It
finish
is.
off a 2 toughness creature.
or even a 3 toughness one if we pump.
That's right. So
Although that would trade for Scott's entire board.
that's true. So drop the Shepherd or up the Ranger class.
An
It's the
interesting
choice,
choice.
isn't it?
Yeah. I think we already have the mana we need to get Ranger class to 4. We're not under a ton of pressure. We could get to level 3 and start casting creatures off the top. That might be the play.
Sounds good. Goes with the Ranger class. Okay. Is he going to send? Yeah.
I think so.
Okay. He likes it. He likes it.
I think this presses the onboard advantage that Scott already has with with next turn activating for level 3 Ranger class. Here, I think Trannel will sack the gas to get ourselves a token. Oh, that's a good way to do it too. Get a couple of cards out of it as well.
Makes the trade, gets the cards and the treasure. So it's got some gas coming, I think. A 4/4 is gonna slow things down a bit.
Can I interest you in
Bugbear.
a 4/4 haste though?
Yeah, holy smoke. That's a straightforward trade, just dropping it straight out the hand.
Absolutely.
So keeping the board state clean.
Which I think favors Scott currently, but we also
Yeah.
don't know what's in Trannel's hand.
Well, we now know what's in Scott's hand as well. There goes George and Targnar dropped there. Level up the Ranger class. Now can at least cast off the top as well. So they're going to have a George in hand. Which is bigger than a Zombie Ogre.
I'll line up very well against that, exactly.
Okay, and that's bigger than the Dragon as well. So, going to be some tricky business coming for Trannel here. But, a little bit of flood from Scott slowing things down.
We still have a 10-7 coming across the board though, so
Yeah, that's nasty. He's going to
That
be
is
one for owing a fair bit.
yeah, we have activated the Abyss versus Trannel here at this point.
Now
But now, not so much.
That's a bounty and a half.
Yeah, talk about a top deck. We're going into the Lost Mines of
Yeah.
Fandelver this time around.
Straight
and
down the middle. Ooh, so much flood
a
for Scott.
A snap top off of the scry also.
Yeah, youch. Oh, look at this. That's 4 lands in a row. Scott's starting to feel it.
Yeah, we're on Scott's on a turn 2 clock as well.
Absolutely. I think this one's going down to the decider. Even with an ogre off the top, it's going to be very hard.
Well, another creature could be on top as well, and look at that.
Oh, that's timing.
And look what's
next.
coming up.
Oh, man.
My goodness.
That spun 180 in 3 cards.
We have
didn't
a
it?
game. We have a game.
Youch.
Let's see what happens now. I think with the white, I think we block it with the wolf and just accept the fact that we're getting a zombie. We have the card advantage. Or I keep on saying we, but I already said that I'm on Scott's side.
You are. You've shown yourself to be at least consciously biased.
I announced my bias before, so I think it makes it better, right? Is that how it works? Oh, there goes Rangers class.
That Beholder did the work, but
Interesting.
with Grim Bounty gone, not going to be happy with what comes off the top.
No, not at all.
So Inferno drops. Put the Ember Poke on Ranger to trade with Beholder, or the Ogre, in fact. So plenty of choice for Scott here. Just got to think about that life total.
I think Scott needs to stay on blocks for a little bit.
Yep. Know when you're the beatdown. Well, that's spicy. He wants to put Trannel on a one-turn clock.
Interesting. Well,
This could come back to haunt him.
a single Dragon's Fire off the top
Yep.
is lethal.
And Red Dragon, obviously, Trannel's got a couple of those, so you know, you might just lose in the air next turn anyway. It's a bold decision to send the dragon. Did it pay off? Red Dragon is lethal.
Oh, that's the end of turn.
Ooh.
Oh, but the mountain! That's it. Unless, I don't know what else they could be, but I think Scott's going to take this one home.
Oh, man, that is cruel. Well, Trannel came so close there, so close, and ouch. Well, good game to Trannel. That was unfortunate. That was a run of just premium cards for Scott just at the moment it was required. And a bold gambit. That gambit there with Inferno did pay off that time. Let's see if Scott unmutes. Scott, you're back in the room.
Yes, I am.
I was feeling for you when you got 3 lands in the row, and then I immediately didn't feel so bad for you with the next 3 cards off the top.
Yeah. Yeah, I was getting a little frustrated by the flood there, but yeah, that series of creatures was ridiculous.
It was exactly what was needed.
Yeah.
Okay,
so...
And if you hadn't have flooded, you couldn't have cast the Ogre straight into Ranger, which stabilized you.
Yep. Yeah, I was beating myself up a little when I held a land in my hand. I was like, oh, wait. I see a land is coming. I should have all my land in play so I can play consecutive creatures. But I got a little lucky there. That one in land wasn't needed.
Can I ask you, both of us felt that you probably shouldn't have sent the Inferno and should have stayed on blocks, but you sent them and put them on a one-turn clock. Were you happy with your decision? Did you know it was a risk, a calculated risk?
Oh, yeah, I definitely knew it was a calculated risk. But yeah, I guess they had already used their Grim Bounty. I know they have Manticore, so they would have had to 2-for-1 to get rid of it. But
did you feel it was the only way to win, knowing the ammo they had?
Yeah, basically. I felt like I put them on a one-turn clock. They have to deal with the dragon. They've got a Manticore for their only flyer, I believe. And then I had the exact blocks, even with the delve at the end of the turn to knock me down 1 more life.
Yeah.
I was going to be left at 1.
That was tight.
Yes.
Well, congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I was going to say it's the decision I made at the time. You know, I'm not sure over, a million matches if it was the correct one, but yeah, luckily it ended up working out.
It's gonna feel good to bring it home after having to mulligan both opening hands.
Yes, yeah, both opening hands were bad. Luckily, both mulls to 6 were really good 6-card hands.
Especially on that second game, seeing Ranger class in the second hand had to feel very, very good.
Yes, Ranger class on turn 2 is always really dumb.
Yeah, that did the
so
job.
Powerful.
The Beholder came along to dispatch it, but not before it done a fair bit of damage. And Trannel's in the room now. Welcome, Trannel. Commiserations.
You said, yes.
Well, it's great to have a new commentator. So when we get Sultan on board, Dynasty and Trannel will be doing most of the talking, and I'll just be on tech. Because, yes, after Murph's exemplary efforts conscripting people to play, I like to think conscripting commentators is the second most important thing.
Trannel, how did you feel seeing turn 2 Ranger class on game 2 there?
Well, I usually I usually feel that for Ranger class, it's more on how decisive is it when it gets to level 2, because I feel sometimes I feel that it's better to get a 3-drop out than going to level 2 on turn 3.
I can definitely agree with that. It can be getting 2 creatures on the board and then leveling up really increases your options. Um, Tell us a little bit about game 2 once again when you saw the flood coming across for Scott, and then suddenly ripping creature after creature off the top off of level 3. That had to be heartbreaking.
It well, I'm frankly I'm very happy getting where I did get.
Mm.
I so it's more of I was hoping that I would also get good draws when the top cards of his deck were good, and unfortunately that was not the case.
Unfortunately not. Well, you did in fact make it to the semifinals, which is more than I can say. Cardlinger inflicted the commentator's curse on me in round 2, so and I went 0-2. So congratulations on getting as far as you did, and let's see how this finals match of Scott Martin versus versus Sultan wraps
Sultan,
up.
who is also running Rakdos and is ready. So Scott, whenever you're ready to reshare and re-invite, if you can mute deafen again, I will let Trannel and Dynasty work through this, and I'll be in the background. So yes, we've got another Rakdos Gruul matchup coming up.
Sure. Yeah, I didn't know if you definitely wanted to do me again, or if there was a
Nope.
chance you'd switch to Sultan.
You're here now, so we'll go for it. Let me just explain while you're unmuted, and I'll let Sultan know in the chat room. It's best of 5, so you send a best of 3, and then obviously there's pre-boarding when we get to the next best of 3. So, you know, regardless of how the first set goes, it's first to 3 wins, but there's pre-boarding between the 2 BO3s.
And for game 4, we choose who goes first based on
Yep,
who lost game
absolutely.
3. Okay.
Yep. For the second best of 3. Right, I've let Sultan know that too. So send when ready.
All right.
Well, Trannel, I'm excited to have you in the booth. Let's have some fun.
Yes.
All right, and I've got Sultan's deck pulled up. We've seen Scott's already in action here. Goodness, double Battlecry Goblin, double Kalane in the
Yep.
2-drop slot. Splashing for Mind Flayer.
Oh
Scott,
yeah.
this will be a fun one. Let's see what Scott can do.
Oh dear.
Not the most exciting opening hand, but I don't think you can send it back.
No.
Really hoping to draw a 2.
Well, mostly I'm looking forward to not getting screwed in Scott's position.
Certainly. Seeing them all going across the table must feel nice. As a Trannel, I will have to let you know, as I already let Carlinger know, Scott and I discovered we live maybe a couple miles from each other, so I'm 100% supporting him for the home team. I'll try to stay unbiased, but Carlinger can let you know that it's not possible. So
Understandable. But also, rooting for Gruul against Rakdos.
right, exactly. Another treasure vault.
Yes.
Excellent. Now, do we run up the spike pick trap, or do we leave it back? I think I would like to see a run out, but there it is. We'll see a Lurking Roper right here. Looks pretty good with 2 Inspiring Bards in hand, but
Yep.
we still haven't drawn land 4.
That's the big issue.
And no black across the table for Sultan yet either.
I've had that against Sultan. No
Mhm.
black. But Sultan is predominantly playing red cards.
Yes, indeed. Although the mana base is split 8 and 8, red and black.
Hmm.
Interesting that we didn't see the Dueling Rapier. Do you think we're saving that for the Armory Veteran?
Oh, definitely. I would not expect Lurking Roper to be the best target for it.
That makes sense. We also did not see Cracking Treasure Vault for a single treasure, which makes sense.
Yes, I only did that against Sultan to be able to get the rest of his hand because I had the clutches.
Exactly. A lot of pressure on the board for Scott here. Let's see if we have any response from Sultan here. That Sylvan Shepherd is going to look mighty nice with that Lurking Roper.
Yep, it was a good draw. In lieu of land.
Right. Now we see the treasure cracked. Yeah, I mean, Scott may be on only 3 lands, but now Sultan is only on 2.
Yeah, it's a very unfortunate situation for Sultan after that mow.
Mm-hmm. We'll get an extra card. Did we get a land? It was a mountain, naturally. I'll untap the Lurking Roper. And now with that Sylvan Shepherd out, the Lurking Roper has virtual vigilance as well.
Yeah,
This is a tough spot for Sultan.
extremely.
Interesting play here. This will tap down the Roper, excuse me, and will keep it from beating Sultan's face here for a turn. There's a 4th land though, and looks like we'll untap it anyway. Oh, a
Well,
much
this
better play.
makes, yeah.
I always forget that Bull Strength also untaps.
Oh, that's not. That's a very key part of it.
It is. It would Bull Strength would not be so good if it too, huh? Let's see here. So that's game 1 for Scott. This is best of 5, so needs to take down 2 more. Let's see how this next game goes. Looks like we took out a Boots of Speed.
Well, when not on the play, there's good thinking there that might be a weaker card.
That makes sense. I did not see what we added in.
I think a third Inspiring Bard.
Ah, that makes sense. We didn't see much in the way of artifacts or enchantments across the board to bring in Cursed Idol.
If you only kill a treasure with it, it's not.
It's not great. Very defensive hand here for Scott. And black mana right off the top for Sultan. Both colors of mana. That has to feel good for Sultan this time around.
Yeah.
Do you trade the Basilisk for the Ghast in this position?
I think not. I think being able to threaten a turn 4 hasty BCG just really is key.
Mm. All right. Well, we have both players setting up their boards. No turn 4 play. Are we thinking? It looks like we have Manticore and Unexpected Windfall in the 4 drops instant speed. I'm sure Scott is consulting that as well to see what kind of tricks Sultan has in play. No attacks. Seeing the pause. Is it Manticore? Interesting. No play at all. Didn't the Bugbear and go ahead. Sorry.
If it is Manticore, that's just best solution. Just holding it off.
Yeah, it certainly makes sense. Trading the Shambling Ghast essentially for Targnar does not seem great. We have a Kalane, create a treasure, and now that supposed Manticore in the hand could be a 3/2. Do we attack? Does Scott attack here, or do we continue to develop the board? Looks like we're getting in with the Roper.
That does keep the mana free.
I think Scott here knows that the Roper is going to die to this Manticore. Yep, there it is. It is a 4/3 though, but smartly playing out that Ranger. Not that Scott had much in the way of other plans here, but does block that 4/3 Manticore fairly well.
Indeed.
We're still 1 mana away from seeing Gorgeous George hit the battlefield. And another pass on 7 mana. Interesting. Will we see an attack with Targnar here and threaten the buff?
I don't believe here, no. I think it just the buff is worth it. Yeah. Doesn't break a stall enough, I would say.
Attacking with the Ranger, okay. Trades for any one part of Sultan's board. If Sultan does block with Kalane, which I think would be strange, we could blow that out with Bull Strength, but there's also 7 mana across the board. Be interesting to see. Tight game we have here from these players.
Surely.
Looks like Sultan's just going to let it through. Have you heard of Second Rangers? Big old board here for Scott Martin. Let's see what Sultan has in the hand. Jaded Sellsword for the 4/3 and a land.
Lots of land for Sultan.
And just one short for Scott.
Yeah.
Just one Ranger going across the board. Interesting.
Well, it's the safest attack.
Certainly.
Considering the 2/3.
Well, you get in. Scott gets in for 5 in addition to taking out Kalane there with that Bull Strength.
No, he got in for 4, but
excuse me, math is hard.
Yeah.
And this one Lone Ranger getting some work done here.
Thanks to the backup of his buddy. Indeed.
Looks like Scott accepts the trade, or rather Sultan accepted the trade, and Scott will play out one of 2 herd gorgers.
Yeah. But also having gotten a significant board advantage in terms of how wide the plot is, Dragnar's pump ability will probably come into effect fairly soon.
Absolutely. Sacking that land, well, it didn't really keep Scott from pumping and playing Dragon's Fire. We lack the 2 red to be able to do that. So interesting decision here. Does Scott just send in the herd gorger and trade for that Earth Cold Elemental?
I think that at this point it might be safest to.
Scott deep in the tank. I'm gonna main phase Dragon's Fire. See if there's a trick.
Yeah, if there was a feign death, it would be very bad with the Manticore.
Yes. But that makes sense to do it pre-combat then, so that the Manticore doesn't get any doesn't take out another creature.
That's why I was saying it. Yeah.
I had not thought about that, and that's why I got eliminated round 2, I'm sure.
Mm.
This is lethal unless something happens.
There. Oh,
Game 2
Sure.
goes to Scott.
no,
So
how kill wouldn't have helped there.
all right, so Scott is up 2-0 in this best of 5. Has a commanding lead. And now he only requires one more game to be able to take this home. Let's see here. And that would make Scott our first, I believe, first back-to-back GOvitational champion. What do you
It
think's going
would.
through his head right now, Trannel?
Mostly just well, the is there a need for sideboarding? I think because knowing that. Oh dear. I think he failed to sideboard correctly because of how this works.
He's sideboarding correctly. We're doing a quick pre-board, keeping that boots speed out, keeping that third inspiring bard in, and then sending the challenge again and
Well,
pre-boarding.
I fear he's failed to put the boots of speed into his current sideboard.
Oh, well, hopefully that doesn't come back to bite him.
Let's hope he doesn't need to use those in game 4.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got no 2-time champ, and certainly never had a back-to-back because we've got no 2-time champ. So this would be Scott turning Strixhaven into AFR to his advantage.
I see. Okay, I wasn't sure. The wonderful notes that you sent me, Cardlinger, showed that would make him back to back, but I wasn't sure if we had a 2-time champion yet. So lots on the line here for Scott, and of course for Sultan as well to get their first win.
Oh yeah.
I think Sultan's come very close in a previous tournament as well, so definitely sniffing around that gold ink.
We've yet to see any Battlecry goblins come out of Sultan, and especially being on the play, it's kind of a vicious start. Let's see what can happen this time.
Well, one of the things that can happen is a turn 2 Kalane into a turn 3 4 drop, which is also very nasty.
Especially if it happens to be that Jaded Sellsword that'll come down as a 5/4 first strike haste.
Yep.
We haven't seen that blue splash come to any fruition yet either, so that'll be
Yeah.
scary to see those 2 treasures across the board in 5 mana.
Yeah, that's one of the more scary thoughts, but so is just any play where simply casting the price of loyalty with a treasure
Yep.
makes for a very scary board, because having just one reacher back, that can get some flyers in.
And I imagine that's what was going through Scott's mind on that last game, and only sending the one ranger. Didn't want to open himself up to one of his creatures getting stolen and suddenly have a much bigger problem on his hands.
Fair point.
Wondering if we're having a connection issue here, or if Sultan is reboarding.
Possibly Sultan had this same problem while reboarding and is rebuilding his sideboard.
Ah, yes, could be right. We also haven't seen that rust monster, which can be a serious issue with the threat of activation with only one treasure on board. Lots of good cards out of Sultan's deck that we haven't seen yet.
And that's indeed why this is not over yet.
All right.
They're just working on the direct challenge, which we'll head over. So Sultan's preparing their side.
Excellent.
I think Scott's just seen that in his friends list.
Yes, it just popped up.
Looks kosher.
And
Here we
looks
go.
kosher. Opponent wins coin flip, which is correct. Sultan should be on the play. And here we go. Round 3. Scott is in his win it and in, and Sultan has an uphill battle. Let's see what happens. That is a very slow hand, but it has an Inferno in it.
And Sultan doesn't have clutches to get it out.
Well, we're certainly going to end up with enough mana, but if Sultan has an start, it's really going to punish Scott. That Spoils of the Hunt not looking great with 2 6-drop in Scott's hand.
That bugbear fills a gap, though, doesn't it?
Certainly does. Well, that's 6 mana. We'll be able to play our whole hand.
Yeah.
Are we in for a slugfest? Nope. Just going in for 2. And a Jaded Sellsword. And a Ranger class off the top. Oh my goodness. Going straight for level 2 on the Ranger class. I have a 4/4 Bugbear? No! Staying back.
Yeah, when the sellsword is ready to block it, there's more value in to attack with a 3/3 and then with a 4/4.
Absolutely, and this also opens this up. Opens Scott up to be able to use spoils as well.
Mm.
Blocking the sellsword and getting feigned death. We have a 5/4 across the board and a Battlecry Goblin like we spoke about. Interesting.
Yeah.
Not a lot of choices here for Scott, given that 5 mana. Do we either have Inspiring Bard or Spoils, but not both. We also could level up to level 3, but under a little bit of pressure here.
Yeah. I don't see spoil being effective against anything but the battle cry.
Right. That Battlecry Goblin looking pretty scary right now.
Yeah, because being able to play down a Hurt Gorger blocks the sellsword pretty nicely.
Yes. Just need to survive until that point. Doing a pre-combat spoils here on the Battlecry Goblin. And it gets through. And a block on the Hexblade. Taking 6 down to 10. But as we know, Scott is going to drop that Herd Gorger next turn. Let's see if it stabilizes. That single price of loyalty would ruin Scott's day here on here, but it doesn't look like Sultan has it.
Dead to Grim Bounty as well, right?
Correct.
Oh no, sorry, 11 life after the life gain, not quite dead to Grim Bounty, but going that way.
All right, so Sultan representing a Manticore with that Shambling Gas attack, but Scott is not biting.
Not for one.
Inspiring Bard in hand to buff that life total even more, but why do that when you have a giant dragon?
Yeah.
We may end up seeing that Manticore perhaps on blocks. If Sultan even has it, that Shambling Gas attack could have been a bluff or an attempt to get a treasure.
If Sultan doesn't have it, it's lethal next turn because the Dueling Rapier represents 2, and so it's a total of 4 from the red mana plus 1 counter from Ranger class is 12 on the Inferno.
Correct. Could even get it up to 13 with the Inspiring Bard.
Possibly, yeah.
If Sultan finds a venture and ends up in the Dungeon of the Mad Mage. Scott's Beholder Pet there having some fun with us. And Sultan deep in the tank. This could be it. I wonder if that lack of second red mana, never mind, is keeping Sultan back. Interesting.
That commentator's curse has lingered with you into the booth.
Listen. This is all your fault card. I just have to let you know. All right, we have an attack once again with the Shambling Gas. No reason to block. Take the one. There's a red dragon. Takes Scott down to 5.
Yeah.
This is a forced block here, but I don't know if Oh,
Sultan will realize that. Yeah.
well, looks like that Bard might end us gaining us some life. Seems to me putting down a Bard and a Targnar on blocks makes the most sense.
I
Unless
think,
unless Sultan doesn't block.
well, even if Sultan does block, I'm not entirely certain if the Tarknar is necessary. But probably best use of mana.
Let's look at Sultan's deck here. That was the one red dragon that Sultan had. Can't cast that Mind Flayer. Wonder if there's anything else that would make this really bad for Scott here. The price of loyalty would still be a problem. Price of loyalty would end the game, obviously.
Yes, it would.
No blocks. Is this going to be it?
It has to be it.
Looks like it. 12 damage coming across with that Inferno of the Star Mount, and Scott Martin is our two-time back-to-back GOvitational champion. Wow. What
Well
a run.
done.
What a run. 5 games, 0 losses. Incredible. Scott's going to run it back, though.
You're allowed to stop, Scott. He's already dead.
He's already dead.
I never know how to concede during sideboarding.
Sultan has a family. Leave him be. Well done. Just as I don't know if you heard me, Scott.
I did not.
5 games, 0 losses. Just incredible. Taking down 2 Rakdos decks that have been decided by the community as being the absolute best deck to beat. You got to be feeling really good right now.
Oh, yeah, I feel very fortunate, especially, like I was telling Card earlier, the first time I ran into Trannel, he just devastated me. The match wasn't even close. So to turn around and have the deck run as smooth as it did for these last 5 games was really nice. It felt great.
Now, keeping that last hand with 2 6-drops and spoils, that seemed like a risky keep.
It was, but I know my deck has some low drops that can keep me there. Yeah, I was dreading seeing the second turn Battlecry Goblin possibly on the other side, but yeah, no, I felt like going down a card was a bigger penalty than keeping those 7 and hoping to get the low drops or a stumble from Sultan.
I mean, it's really hard to throw back a giant dragon, isn't it?
Yeah, having the mythic there, knowing that that's coming feels good, and especially the 2 forest, 2 mountain. That's the perfect mana base for me to start with.
Absolutely, and Sultan did jump in to chat here with us. Sultan, good games. Got so close, man.
I could taste it. So close, yeah.
But had some mana troubles that first game, huh?
Yeah, so game 1, it's funny, the first 7 had the same exact mana base mountain and the in that rare produced treasure land. I don't know the name off the top of my head. So I shipped that back and then drew the exact same mountain and that rare land, and I was like, well, I can die slowly or I can die fast. Maybe I can draw out of it. So that was game 1.
Yes, that was a tough way to lose game game 1 with Treasure Vault. Doing a poor impression of a swamp, unfortunately.
Well,
Yes.
he had seen that happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see here, and I'm having I'm having some trouble remembering what happened on game 2. Game 2, that's right, had a lot of was probably our best game there with lots of back and forth. Sultan, tell me with Scott coming across the board with the one Ranger consistently, what were you thinking through all that?
Yeah, so I put him on bull strength for 1, so I was like, oh, I can take a hit here, see if he wants to do that. I knew eventually it was going to come down and start chumping. So I was like, all right, let's get it out of his hand. Let's see what he's going to do. Misclick on my end with the flash 2/1 flyer. I guess it defaults when you have Killian on the battlefield to pay for it with treasures. So I threw out my 4/3 flyer that just gets walled anyways. So I was like,
Oh, yeah, okay.
so I'm
And-
sitting with Mind Flayer in my hand as my last card. And I'm
No
like,
way!
two treasures would be great right now. So I'm just kicking
Oh,
myself. Yeah,
How
but
devastating.
yeah, I think he gets that game anyways. Like he's going super wide, picking up my creatures, and then like there was those 4/1s leaving behind 2/2 bodies, like that lines up really well against my deck, especially if I'm not popping off on those early turns.
I do want to throw in a quick apology for you, Sultan. I completely blanked on the Knoll Chieftain's pack tactics ability. I took a long time to make that last attack, and when I did, and I saw pack tactics, I went, "Oh, this math wasn't hard at all." I wasn't trying to slow roll you. I was just having a brain fart.
No worries. I saw that and I was like, oh yeah, I'm definitely dead here. I was like, maybe he doesn't see it, maybe something, but yeah.
Well, Scott, I think you can be forgiven, given that I'm sure that that both you and Sultan were running with some pretty hot nerves in these past couple games. So, Sultan, you said you had Scott on that bull strength that you eventually got out of his hand with Kalain. In that last game, attacking with the 1/1, the Shambling Ghast, were you trying to represent a Manticore there, or were you trying to get a hold of a treasure? What was the plan there?
Definitely the treasure route. I knew he wasn't gonna block. The 1 point of damage didn't really seem relevant, but I was hoping I can whittle him down. I had Krydel in hand, so trying to get him down and then potentially sneak in that last big swing with the 5/4.
Yep. Yep. We were saying that, and this is the second time now that with Scott that Terra Mount the big red Terra Mount Bellis, is that the right card name? I get my
Inferno.
giant
Inferno.
Inferno Star Mounts. What a giant 6/6
Inferno
dragon,
Star
whatever
Mount.
the heck it's called, right? I get my sets confused sometimes. The that Scott would have been dead due to the aggression with the big dragon, but it came through for him on 2 games there. If I'm sure, Sultan, you were just begging for a price of loyalty off the top.
Yes, I was like, I need something here, man. I need something here. And then that last attack, I'm like, all right, I'm dead if I chump block. He's just gonna win next turn. So I was like, let's take it, let's make him have it, and got it with Xaxes. I was like, all right, you got it.
Yeah, there was a an inspiring bard in hand too, but that would have given up.
Yeah,
That would have to be played. That would have to be played pre-combat to really show it off. But at any rate, very well played, gentlemen. We have our first back-to-back, first 2-time winner in Scott Martin. Now everyone's going to be gunning for you, man. How do you feel about that?
Oh man, well, it's a good place to be.
There's a room for only one at the top, right?
I've
I
already
suppose
asked
so.
I've already asked Murph if he'll do you a platinum tag instead of gold to set you apart. And Sultan,
Well,
you've been
Carter-
sniffing around as well, right? You've been up amongst these final brackets before, so I'm hoping you'll be able to convert that to gold sometime soon.
Yeah, it's been a blast. Really happy I stumbled upon the server. Thank you guys for putting this on. It's always a pleasure to play some high quality limited whenever I get a chance, and this definitely satisfies that need.
It's all thanks to Murph. He's the one who corrals everyone. So
Absolutely. If you see a Murph Smash around in chat or in Discord, and you appreciate the GOvitational, please let him know.
absolutely. Next one will be coming in a month and a half or so, I guess, if he's going to do a fast start to Innistrad. So not long for everyone to wait.
Excellent. And I hope, Card, that I'm never the featured drafter again.
we got to cycle that commentator's curse until it's broken. There's no way we can put someone back on it straight away.
Yeah, please.
But I'm quite happy to take the responsibility for that and give Murph all the glory. That seems a fair call.
Excellent.
Well, thanks to you for going in the booth. And Trannel, thanks for joining for the final as well. That's much appreciated.
It was fun.
Glad to have you. And yeah, congratulations, Scott and Sultan. Will get you back in the final again next time, I'm sure. We'll be able to get you gold in no time.
Looking forward to it.
Oh, well, thank you everyone for your time. Much appreciated. We're just coming in on the hour here, so everyone can go away and enjoy the rest of their day.
Thank you all.
All right. Thanks. Take care.
Thanks again,
Thanks.
everyone.
GG's.
Good stuff.
Thank you very much. All right, bye bye.